Greetings and welcome to my channel. This is Sorcerer Tal. You can also find me on Facebook at the Sorcerers Guild as well as online at thesorcerersguild.com. Today we are going to be doing an altar update as well as discussing how Manitellyou has been doing in his new vessel. Okay, so from previous altar updates you may recognize this crystal garden. It is one that is connected to my own dream platform through a hagstone, which is placed in the center of here with a thread coming out. And then around that we have a lock of my own hair as a sample, as well as a few other sigils and things of that nature, connecting all of this to the S1 project, which is then, so there's a thread in here, which is then brought down, making an antenna or bridge that was dripping down and into this second crystal garden representing the material plane. As you can see, that is finally connected. There's made a full connection. This red thread is something that I have added recently to give some structural integrity and just help this form properly. And the salt will, over time, overtake that thread as well. But that thread is where the next part of what we want to talk about in today's update. Manitellyou here. Now, as I said in our previously, he is going to be communicating mostly through dreams. Now, I haven't been here this week. I've actually been out of town working on a renovation project, and during that time, I had a dream. And in this dream, I dreamed that a figure, and it's amazing that I didn't catch it, because I had mentioned before that the new Manitellyou looks like an adult. But at any rate, I had this dream, and I didn't quite understand who it was that I was seeing in the dream. But I dreamed that they told me there was a piece of red, there was a red line that had connected its thing and was going up and down, and it had completed its process. And I actually didn't realize what that meant. I didn't have my dream staff with me, so maybe that has something to do with it. I did notice a distinct difference in my dreams for that week where I didn't have it around at all, as opposed to normal. Like, mostly about weren't quite as lucid as well, and it wasn't quite as easy to remember to use the button, the dream save that I spoke about in previous years as well. Those that just weren't working as well. And as I said, when I communicated with him, I didn't realize it was right away. And most of the times I've worked with Manitellyou, I knew immediately. Now, what's interesting about that is that when I came back home, I actually mentioned something about this dream in the soup group. And when I did, I felt a communication from Manitellyou here explaining that that was not Tommy Chong with long hair in my dream, but rather Manitellyou. And of course, the red thread coming to completion is that this finally connected while I was out. So I've made a full connection. And this means, because part of what is going on here is that this antenna or connection from my dream platform down to the material plane, it is part of what's going on here is my alter servitor program backing up what we did with the S1 project and the bridge we created with DreamWork from the astral plane down to the material. So this is backing that up through the servitor program. There's some other gardens we have going on here. We've got the money garden, which has gotten quite a bit bigger, and the love garden. We've got my Luenga head is down here again with the turtle shell protection spell that he sits on. Those were up here. I've moved them down. Up here we got Gordon. There's Gordon there, and of course Boris. Some more of my other spells. Jar spells, things like that. Part of the altar's processing center there, which help it run its servitor programs. Most of this we've already seen before. There's the shrine to grandmother. All love to grandmother. Here is a project that I'm working on to actually trying to communicate with my past self. What's interesting is that I remember having a lot of dreams. Not dreams. I have a lot of memories from when I was about the age of this first picture. There I am. I have a lot of memories of thoughts that just don't seem like the type of thought that a child of that age would have, and many of them involved that idea of if I was older, if I could communicate with myself. So it's like I've been sending these memories back towards my own self, but it already happened. I already had the thoughts to get here, to arrive at this point, in order to send them back. Because I already remembered having those thoughts before this started. But now that I've gotten here and I'm sending that back, it feels like I'm completing some sort of a cycle. Anyways, there's another one of my gourds. There's one of my personal sigil. We'll be doing some stuff with that eventually. There's the S1 gourd. A couple of my servitor tanks. Large servitor tank. Fairy house. There is Mary's doll back there and a couple other dolls. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. I am going to be going live again tomorrow at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, as I have been trying to do. Sorry we missed last week, but like I said, I had a large renovation project, and I actually was taken up with doing that last Sunday, driving out there for that. I just didn't have time to go live, but we will be doing it today, tomorrow, Sunday, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We will be picking up where we left off with my writing and discussing a few other things. And then next week, we should be getting back to normal. I'm not actually going to continue with this schedule of every Saturday. I'm probably going to just be posting videos at random throughout the week, and then the live on Sunday will be the thing that we try to keep on the schedule, because that's the only one that timing is really an issue. Other than that, you can see the videos when you want. Even the live ones, you can see what we did, but in order to participate, there needs to be a schedule. So, tomorrow, Saturday, 7 p.m. Until then, bright blessings and an interesting fate. Oh, actually, I wanted to talk about this here. That's Strid there, obviously. I think we've had videos about him in the past. Yes, we have. Or her. I don't know why I said him. It's actually a female mink skull. Okay. We've got Manitellyou's hand here. And what I have, why is it in this portal? That is part of how we're going to be, like I said, he's going to be communicating through DreamWorks. And apparently his new astral form looks a bit like Tommy Chong. So you might want to keep that in mind for your own communications. But the idea here, and this is the one time you will hear me refer to this thing as a dream catcher. You're not going to hear me use that word very often. I try not to use it because it's not accurate. These were portals. These were weavings. And one of the things they were used for was to interact with the dream world. And that is what is going on here. That is why his hand is firmly placed into there. so that he can reach into dreams and spread that communication. Okay. I think that's all that we were going to talk about today. Thank you once again for joining me. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please take the opportunity to do so now. Until next time, bright blessings and an interesting fate. This has been Sorcerer Tao.